Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, we are from Group T, and today we want to share our understanding about modality, scope, and quantification. For the first material will be explained by me. My name is Radja with student number 7310 231045, and I will start my explanation with modality. So, for my understanding, modality is like refers to how we express possibility, necessity, or permission in English, and it's often done using modal verbs like can, must, may, might, should, and could. Uh, and for example, if I say like she must be at home, so I'm expressing certainty, and I strongly believe she is home. And another example, if I say like uh, she might she might be at home, I'm expressing possibility, and I'm not sure, but it's possible. So modality can also be about rules and permission. For example, if I say like you must wear a seat belt, so it's an obligation. And if I say you might leave early today, and it's a permission. So modality helps. I'm sorry, let me repeat. So modality helps show our attitude towards what we say. And for the next, there is scope. So scope refers to how words influence each other in a sentence, and sometimes changing the scope can change the meaning of the sentence. For example, maybe in negotiation, if I say I don't like coffee with milk, it means that I dislike coffee with milk. And maybe if I say like I like coffee but not with milk, it means that I like coffee but just without milk. Another example is with modals and negotiation. If I say you must not go, it means that you are not allowed to go. And maybe for another example, you cannot go. It means that it's impossible for you to go. So so scope tell us what part of the sentence. So scope tell us what part of the sentence a word is affecting. And then for the last, there is quantification. So for my understanding, quantification talks about how much or how many. In English, we usually using words like all, some, every, most, a few, and a lot. For example, every student read a book. Uh, did they read the same book or different books? And for the next example, some student like math. Uh, it means that not all of the students, just a few. And, and sometimes quantifiers uh, quantifiers can be ambiguous. For example, uh, a book was read by every student. Uh, this could mean each student read the same book, or maybe that each student read a different book. Uh, quantification help us talk about numbers and amounts, but we need to be careful about the meaning. For the conclusion of all of my explanation, uh, modality talks about possibility, necessity, and permission. And for scope, talk about how different words affect meaning in the sentence. And for the last quantification talk about amounts and numbers. So I think that's all for my understanding about the material. And for the next explanation will be explained by Shifa.
Okay, thank you, Radja. Can you guys hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So today I will share my understanding about modality, scope, and quantification. Modality is how we use a language to express attitude toward situation, include possibility, um, necessity, and permission. For the example is Bill has to apologize. So the press has to is a obligation, so it is a modality. And in English, modal verb like um, my, might, can, could, shall, should, and can, could, and must. It is a main element to show um to show modality. And modal verb uh, also describe the tense. The example will is refers to the future, and also will refer the future, but it is more polite. And then is a scope and modality. So scope and modality refers into two categories. The first one is epistemic modality, and the second one is deontic modality. So epistemic modality related to the knowledge or understanding. It is express the degree of a truth of a situation. For the example, we can compare two statements. The first statement is the whole hillside is slipping down into the valley. And the second statement is the whole hillside could be slipping down into the valley. So the first statement, we can see the speaker's confident about the truth. And in the second statement, we can see it is a show that speakers considering the possibility of the truth. And then is deontic modality. Deontic modality refers related to the duty, and then morality, laws, and rules. It is express permission, necessity, and obligation. For the example, for permission, we can say you can borrow my bike anytime. The word can is refers to the permission, and for advice we can say you should email Tom. The word should refers to the advice, and for obligation, the example is tax return must be submitted by the end of the September. must be is refers to the obligation. So the distinct of epistemic modality and deontic modality come from philosophy and how we use modality in language. And the next material is about quantification. So English use various expressions to indicate quantity such as qualifiers like some, all, none, most, many, and etc. And then use numbers and then modified numerals, for example, more than 10. And to know about quantification, we must know about basic concept of set. So set is a this is a distinct element of a distinct object and refers into a subset and and then empty set and then cardinality, union, intersection, and complement. So subset, for example, C is subset of D if all element in C also in D, and empty set is a set with no element. And then cardinality is a number of element in set. And then union is all element in both of set. And then intersection is a element that common in the both set. And then the last one is complement. Complement is element that is it not in a particular set. Okay, that's all my understanding about modality, scope, and quantification. And the next material will be explained by Naura.
Okay, so here's my understanding about modality and quantification. So modality is how the speaker express attitudes towards a situation that uses certain words like that called modal verbs to show if something is necessary or possible or certain. So there are, for examples, must indicates certainty. Like, for example, he must be tired. And then can indicates possibility or permission. For example, you can visit me now. And then ought to indicates what is like likely. For example, there ought to be someone new. And then could indicates something is possible. For example, the environment could be green. And then modality and tenses, that is past, present, and future. So tense is not always clear with modal verbs. Some past forms can refer to future events, like will and would. So will indicates future. For example, like Sarah will help me tomorrow, and for would you help me tomorrow? So it is more polite than will. And then will and can is quite different. Like will expresses strong certainty, while can expresses the weaker possibility. Like a diamond will cut glass. It shows that the speaker is very sure about the statement. While for would can, a diamond can cut glass. It stated the statement shows that the speaker is not very sure. So it is like possible. And then, so yeah, modality is important because it helps speaker show how sure they are about something, and to make request politely. And then it also talks about rule possibility and rules. And then modality refer to two types. There is epistemic and deontic modality. So epistemic modality is when it is epistemic modality relates to knowledge and certainty. Like it shows how sure the speaker about something. For example, the hillside is slipping. So it is the statement is certain versus the hillside could be slipping. So with the use of could, it express that it states that the statement is not it is less certain. And then deontic modality, uh, it deals with duty, roles, and obligations. Like the speaker express what is allowed and necessary or preferable. Preferable. For example, you can borrow my car. So the sentence is so it is a permission. While another example with should, you should call me. So it is a recommendation. And then tax returns, assignment, your assignment must be submitted. So it is an obligation. Right? And then there is ambiguity between epistemic and deontic modality. So some modal verbs, if spoken, so some modal verbs can express both epistemic and deontic if spoken by different person. Like you may take a cigarette break after the class. If it's spoken by a teacher, it means that it's a permission, so it is deontic. While if it's spoken by a friend, it means that it's a possibility, so it is epistemic. And then the next is quantification. So quantification in English, there are like some, all, none, many, most, and etc. So quantifiers like this used to express information about numbers or specific like proportions. For example, some cats lack tails, and then 12 men have walked on the moon. And there are more than 50 countries in Africa. So those are the examples for quantification, and that's all that I can. That's all my understanding about the materials. Thank you. How many times do you have?
I don't know exactly how many minutes has passed because there is no notification about that.
Okay. I think it's already.
I think it's like 1 minute under 20 minutes. Like 19 minutes maybe.
So, do you guys want to add anything?
No, I don't. I think it's completely clear about the modality, scope, and quantification.
Should
Okay.
we end our discussion?
Are you sure it's already 20 minutes? Because in my phone it is, the Zoom meeting is already 22, but I don't know about the recording.
Maybe we can wait at least like 2 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys wanna ask something?
So how many meetings do we have left for this semantic class? For this for the mid semester?
It's meeting 6, right? Right now. Right now it's meeting 6.
6.
Or 7?
Usually there are 7. It's usually 8 or 9, I guess. 8 weeks. I think after the Eid we have like only one meeting or 2, because usually Pak Hanafi said we end the class earlier, like we end the semester, we end, it's not on a, I think it's on the silent week, probably.
So we only have like 2 or 1 meeting again before we switch our member group, right?
Do we switch?
I think there was a moment that Hanafi said we will
we,
switch our group member after meeting 8, I think.
but I think he'll ask our whether it's we want to switch the member or not.
Oh, I get it.
Oh yeah. So the last week will be the presentation for the last group, right? Yeah.
I think it's already 3 minutes past after our explanation. I think it's already 20 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to end? The...
Okay.
Don't end the video like presentation, because it's not really a presentation. Just end the video. I think. Don't say presentation, because it is not a presentation.
So
Discuss.
discussion, right?
Yeah, end the discussion.
All right, discussion. So should we end our discussion, guys?
Yeah, I think we can.
All right. I think that's all for our discussion about the material. We will close. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.